welcome back. Today I want to get into the S14 and explain a little bit about the build and what's been going on with the S14. So pretty much, if you don't know, or if you're new to the channel or new to my socials and stuff, pretty much this was my track car for 6 years. I've started drifting, started building cars, started playing around with cars with the Sora, and I've had the S14 for the last 3 years, I think now, and pretty much had made the decision to pull the Sora apart completely and build a new track car. The reason why building a new track car is pretty much the Sora it's a good car and I love it. It's just not very good for steering, not very good for weight. It's so long. There's a lot of reasons why it's not a great car for drifting, and a lot of people told me this and I should have listened years ago, but it's to the point now where my driving is getting better. I need to move on to another car to essentially get better at driving and be a bit more competitive. So that's why I picked an S chassis, since they are probably one of the best cars for drifting. I wouldn't say they're the best car for drifting, but one of the best cars. There's plenty of other chassis out there that are heaps better for steering, but these cars are proven. I like these cars a lot. I actually enjoy the Silvias over more than a Sora. The reason why I got the Sora so many years ago is because my first Japanese car, I wanted to have a turbo car. I couldn't drive stick, so I literally brought this car for that reason. It was a JZ. Didn't know anything about JZs. Fell in love with JZs from this car. So pretty much now it's time to build this car, which we've already started, and I haven't really filmed anything, but I'm about to start now. So I'm sorry if you were keen on, I know some people were actually keen to watch the very beginning, the whole car, but we're at a point still where I can actually share what's being done and still continue on with what we're doing. So I'll give a bit of run through what we've got going on at the moment. So we've got the motor out of the Sora sitting in the car at the moment, just to more dummy everything up, because we're currently halfway through doing the tube front. So Clay Reeves, if you don't know who he is, down south, he's got the real cool little IS. So pretty much he wanted to dive into playing around with cars and fabricating car stuff. So I'd allow him to build my tube front, which is pretty cool. Starting there on top of the strut tower, coming all the way down on top of the chassis rail, and we've also got a supporting bit here. Probably doesn't really need it, but that's how we wanted to design it. We want to have a plate that's going to go on top, so we'll cover all this and kind of come around the outside of it all the way down, and then follow into the guard, which will then be dimple dyed, so they'll look a bit neater. I won't be running tubs. Maybe in the future we might make a design up for tubs, but for now I don't really want to run tubs. So the front piece for the rad support, I've actually got these. Pretty much they're like a roll cage joiner, so they get notched up here, notched into the rail, and then this part here gets unbolted, so then you can remove your rad support. So we can have the radiator out of the way and everything out of the way, so we can just slide the motor and box out one go. This week, that's what's going to happen, and in this video we'll see, I'll put some clips in the video of us actually doing it, but this kind of gets you up to speed of what we're actually currently doing. So this piece here will get removed. We've also got to put the radiator in, which it sits very close. If you see here, these holes on your caster brackets is where the holes for the radiator actually sit. So there's not much room, like literally, it's going to be pretty close. So we'll see how that goes and how we fit all that up. Surely can't be too hard. These motors have been put in these cars for a very long time, so we'll get it in there. I've got to make a new oil drain hose. Mine had actually burnt, so we got to get a fitting that comes out, kicks right out, and then like on a 45 goes straight down to the sump. Another few little things we've got going on. We've got the fuel system sorted, kind of. We've got to plumb the rest of it up yet, but we've got all the hoses going from the back of the rail. Can't really see, a bit dark, but going to the regulator. Then this hose here will kind of come out, and then we've got my my flex fuel sensor. So that mounts on here, and we've got all the lines running through the car from the back here. Just using a standard fuel tank with all AN fittings all on it. So we'll just come all along here and then mount up really nice. And then we've got the quick, like a connection that goes through the firewall, and then so it disconnects from the engine bay and leaves all the hoses and everything still hooked up, mounted properly throughout the car. And then yeah, for interior, I've got my computer all mounted. That's where I'm going to sit it. Obviously I'll pull it all back out where we got to paint it all. So that's where the Haltech's going to sit. And then we've also mounted my Astra Power steering pump. I've been watching, if you don't know, James Taylor. He also did this idea in his Beamer. Put it under the dash, just on that side there. It's all accessible. You can run all your lines through the outside there, right down under the subframe, and all the wiring will pretty much just keep going straight to the back of the boot. That's where all the power wire is going to go, and all my fuse box will pretty much be under that dash there too. So all the wiring for that is right there, which is nice. So pretty much that is what is going on with the car at this point in time. A little bit at the start, so you know what's going on and up to speed what's actually happened with it. But it's just been a lot of small shit. It's kind of boring stuff to film. That's why I haven't been motivated to film it. But now, since we're actually getting into some pretty cool shit, I really want to actually film what's going on with the car. So one, I've got videos to look back on of what we did with the car, and two, I can share it with everyone. I don't care if people don't watch it, it's whatever. I more want it for me, just so I can actually look back what we did. It'd be pretty cool, like in a few years' time, to see where this car started to where it's now. Because even like looking at it right now, I've had this car for nearly 3 years. Just a metal shell, which I'll actually put a photo of it here, or a video if I can find it, where I actually picked it up, sitting on some hay bales in the back of Sheffield, to where now I'm pretty stoked with how it's actually already come together. And we've got drifting in the next 3 months' time. We've got drifting again, so I want to get this car going and ready for the next season. I really want to have a good season next year. It didn't really finish where I would like to last season. I know it's what it is. It was a good year for my. I'd say it was definitely a good year for me, as in driving. Like I got better as I went on. Just learnt a lot of things. Got a lot more confidence with the car. It's just I feel like this is going to be a lot more set up, a lot more, yeah, everything about it. I can get on for ages about it, but anyway, let's get into doing the tube front, and I'll film other little bits and pieces as we go on through the day. But yeah, another thing too, I want to start uploading a video like once a week of just like what we're doing on the car, just to keep kind of posting. It's pretty hard. I do work a 4-on-4 roster, so it's kind of like I do have the time to do videos once a week just to kind of get shit going. People ask for it, and I've just been meaning to film. It's just so hard to film if you don't know how to, like with this, it's weird putting a camera to your face and like filming and shit. Anyway, we'll get better at it as we go on, but let's get into do a bit more of the car, and I'll show you some more progress, what's going on with it.